Hey everybody, welcome to another session of The Hands of
Woo-
Death.
Of
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
can't.
death.
Death,
Hands?
death.
woo.
We nailed it. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in. Hope you enjoy the session. Does any of my
I
players? What?
I have a question
Yeah.
first. How do I move my screen again on the thing? My thing's all messed up.
Oh, you want to right click and drag.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Do any of my players want to give me a recap of what happened last time?
Well, certainly has been a hot minute since we played.
Yeah, it has.
I have very brief notes this time, so
I could
was
try. I can try.
you want to
Okay.
try? You should try.
Cool.
My notes are pretty decent. We open on Felicity, Esther, and Florence. Joel has left our group to go speak with Ophelia, and we have to go meet up with Jude before she meets with the Hands of Death to tell them about our recent updates and our failure to off Joel. Also, Esther still needs to create art for their show with Franny Beckett.
Mhm.
So I think we did that first. Maybe this is out of order, but we went and made some art using. We made like a cloak. Oh yeah, we took Catherine's cloak and we turned it into this mannequin, and it transforms into a marble statue of some capacity. Then we go and meet up with. Oh yeah, I made a new disguise. Well, Esther and Felicity made me a new disguise so I can safely travel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to this bar and we meet up with Jude, and we all decide that the next course of action would be to meet with the head of the Hands, Graham, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. And we have an idea of a ritual, but that doesn't really work out. So poor Ernie is still being a weird bub.
Learn.
Um,
Well, you guys never went and talked to Ernie, so
right.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a fail. So we meet up with Graham, and Anna is there, and we try and convince them that to take part in a ritual. So we set up this ritual as a way to prove my powers, and I collect some ghosts. We go collect some stuff, get ready for this ritual, and it is a success. I end up basically granting Anna like extra strength and power. So it's a very successful. And then I profess my godliness that I am, in fact, death. They are still they're intrigued, but very skeptical. And so, as a group, we decide that our next course of action would be to go speak with Ophelia,
Right. You were
which
gonna.
I'm not very happy with.
The thought was that you were gonna go after Ophelia next, right?
Go after Ophelia.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Anyone.
That
Anybody
was pretty
else?
good.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
Anna got so
Like,
buff.
is the goal to kill Ophelia? Because I thought they wanted information.
I mean, they still want to kill her. Like, as far as you know, your interests are aligned there. So they want to know what happened, like what happened with you and what this whole thing is, right? But they also want to kill her. So the insinuation was that they were going to capture her and then get the information out of her somehow and then kill her.
Oh, also, didn't the Verdant show up? Did you say that? I can't remember.
I did mention it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like in the ritual.
In the
in the
course of the
ritual,
ritual. Yep.
just like showed up and helped you.
Creepy.
Oh yes, the goddess of life appeared.
No big deal.
Been out and missing for a while. All right. So with that in mind, I think we probably want to move away from that scene of strengthening Anna. So Anna has this like new aspect now, right? It's been added to her. She's like stronger now.
Mhm.
I think we probably want to move away from that scene of strengthening Anna and kind of take it back to Esther's shop. I think that's a good like rallying point because Graham lets
Mhm.
you know that they'll need to get things ready for a few days to like um set up to go after Ophelia, and they need to gather intel, figure out where the heck she is. Nobody really knows. There's assumptions she's in the city, but Um,
And Joel
and
is with her.
yeah, and Joel is with her, right? Which you let Graham know, and he wasn't very happy about because he essentially assumed you just let a spy return to report. Um, but so I think we should take it back to Esther's shop. Because Esther, you still need to make these pieces for Franny Beckett, right? You've made one, which is that do I want to say mannequin? I'm not sure if a sculpture basically that can change its form. You can change its form at will if you touch it.
Yes. I personally felt that perhaps that would stave off any Franny Beckett pestering for a little bit, but if I must make more art, I will.
She's nothing if not incessant with it. So you have a few days here to like get yourself in order and like maybe do investigations of your own. Maybe try to contact Joel if you wanted. Maybe you go visit Ernie. Up to you.
Team, the GM keeps mentioning Ernie. I feel like we need to go visit Ernie.
You don't have to, but
Which, to be fair, like I believe it was Wendy, I think, who originally brought up Ernie, and so I think we've created an Ernie scenario.
We did.
It would be I mean there's a plot hole potentially. I mean we don't have to.
We
I don't
don't
know
have
what our
to.
purpose is at this point, but we could easily find one.
Oh, let's be in character and let's chat. So, um, one thing. This is us, Florence. One thing I've really wondered is that you know how we killed Catherine? Did anything in the city change after we killed her? Like I've been thinking about the ghost towers, and I don't know who came up with this idea at the very beginning before we even met you, Esther, that if we took out all the Verdanthi, that balance might get restored here. At least something would have happened. But I've been looking at the city, and I don't know if there's a cause that happened there. And I guess it's good news since if we don't kill Joel, nothing will change. But it's any thoughts?
I mean, I haven't noticed much other than the dramatic increase in military force.
Right. And looking for you, of course, which is such a pain. And also, did I tell you that yesterday, before we met up with the hands, I saw some dogs on our tail? They were like sniffing around. Remember when Esther was being heroic and saved that girl from interrogation? There was these dogs that were sniffing around the same spot.
No, hold on. We should linger on that moment. I was pretty heroic.
You were very heroic. It was a good
I'm
job.
proud of you.
Yes, so good. My next thought, if nothing changed when we killed Catherine, I wonder if Joel has the ability to take down one of these ghost towers.
Hmm. Are these ghost towers not the invention of that? What was his name? The turbo nerd, the other one who died.
Enoch.
Ah, yes, Enoch.
uh,
I
they
mean, is it not true that I have that ability?
To make a
You
ghost
could
tower?
test it.
I mean, you remember back at the last two towers ago,
Uh,
I could have let them all free. I could have. I think I could have. I'm not sure.
Felicity's like on a cabinet, swinging her feet back and forth, and she's looking over at all of you talking.
I do not believe the answer to any next step is involving ourselves with more ghosts and their towers. If anything, that seems like an interim step that there's more important things we can work on, such as the fact that I need a vat.
A vat?
A vat.
Of what?
Something terrible. I'm thinking green, viscous, oozy.
Florence gags.
Just as Esther starts to mention this vat situation, there is a rap on the shop door. Now, I want to get very specific for a second, because we've mentioned this before, but I don't think we've ever expressly discussed it. I want to talk about doors, and specifically the front door to Esther's shop. Esther, what?
Wait, no, hold on. Thank goodness we're talking about this. I've been desperate to talk about doors. Keep going.
Yeah, good. Honestly, it's been an empty hole in the story, and I'm glad we're getting it filled. Yeah. What does the door look like to your shop? Is it a full door? Does it have one of those glass panes in the middle? Are we talking like a peephole? What does it look like?
Okay. The door is entirely teal. Like
teal?
Like yes, teal, freshly painted.
Hold on.
It is wood.
I gotta Google that color. Okay, I got you.
Yes, it is freshly painted teal. Esther paints it every week. Okay. It's like a calming thing that they do. There are windows on it, but they've been painted over so many times that the paint is thick and it'd actually be hard to see if there's a window. It mostly just looks like an almost solid thing of paint.
Okay, so it would be almost impossible to tell what's on the other end.
Except for the fact that it hangs really poorly now because of all the extra weight from the paint. And so it barely goes into the door properly. You have to like shove it and or yank it into the frame. And so you can actually kind of see over it. It's a weirdly short door, and you can kind of see over it in the top left part where it's like leaning down.
Okay.
If you're looking at it.
In that case, through the slight gap in the top left, you can see just the tip of wiry, wispy gray hair. Expertly combed and manicured, mind you. Still a full head of hair, just, going gray. But you can see just the barest tip of that. And then you hear another rap at Esther's shop door.
Oh, it must be Lind. One moment. And Esther walks to the door and opens it.
Okay, as you open the door, you see standing in front of you this man. He's wearing his gold and black armor, much like he was when the day you saw him in the center of the town square announcing that the hunt for Lily had began. This is Watson, Ophelia's butler.
May I help you?
He has on a pair of spectacles, and as you open the door, Esther, he looks down at you and tilts his glasses down slightly. You get the intense impression that he's studying you. He glances around, looks at the shop, and then steps in without you offering to invite him in. He just walks right into the shop.
I think I'm blocking the door a bit. Does he shove me?
Yeah, he's gonna just shove you in.
Hey, wait, what do you think you're doing?
Pushes you in. What a desperate little place. He's glancing around.
Desperate?
Now,
there's nothing desperate about me.
Now, Florence and Lily, you know who this is. What do you two do as soon as Watson steps through the door?
I step around a big statue and kind of hide.
Okay. All right, so you're hiding behind a massive art construction in the corner?
I know, it's a statue of Esther naked, probably.
Okay. All right.
I am wearing my mask, which, if I'm not mistaken, makes me look kind of like a burn victim.
Is that what we said? I forgot. All right, if that's what we said, awesome.
It's kind of grotesque. I mean, it's obviously a mask that also looks like it's obviously hiding something. Yeah, everything about it that I remember was really gross.
And just
So it's like,
just a reminder, this is not a death mask, correct? This is simply a mask.
Yeah, the last Death Mask has become an animated creature that is now roaming free on the streets of Chandla.
Yeah, that's
So-
sort of a whoopsie.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistakes were made moment there.
so I, because you thought it was Lind, I had the mask, or I have the mask on, but I think I'm just gonna pose as like kind of an ill patient. Like I'm sitting, and I just give this appearance of like unwellness.
Great. Could you both give me stealth rolls then?
Yeah, that's
Or
that's
wait.
fair.
wait,
Hmm?
question: Would Wendy not do more of like some kind of performance role or something?
Oh, if that makes more sense, I can't think of a performance skill that really exists in
Deceived.
Fate. Yeah. So stealth seems deceive. I mean, to be honest, it's better for Lily to roll stealth. So and I think stealth makes sense anyway.
Thanks.
I'll roll.
Let me oppose.
Oh wow, it's the
Ooh.
best stealth roll I've ever had.
So make sure to reset your fate points and then try to beat a 6.
Okay.
This fastidious butler has his eyes on everything.
Oh my gosh.
He's so fastidious.
He's very
So
fastidious.
fastidious.
One might
Wow.
say he has a fastidious aspect.
Super. I'm just gonna fail that. Just let them see me. Maybe I like wobble the statue or something happens.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I'm having bad thoughts. Yeah. You wobble the statue. Okay.
Oh no!
And then I like grab it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry.
Okay. Lily, what about you?
You, Florence, what are you doing?
Just dusting, and then I just keep walking around as if it was like I meant to just walk around the statue and not hide behind it.
Lily, what about you?
uh,
So don't
Maybe-
forget you have your well-made disguise invokes. If you want to spend those are free. You got 2
Do it,
free
do
ones.
it.
I can use both of them.
Yeah. No, you can only tap one aspect per, but it could get you part of the way there, or you could reroll.
No, don't, please don't. It'll only get worse. It's never once. It has never been better.
Okay, honestly, in this case, you rolled 2 pluses and you got a 3. Oh no, that's Professor Florence Algard. What did you roll?
Yeah.
You rolled 1 plus and you got a 3. So yeah.
I have a plan.
Wait, I'm looking. At
I'm
the wrong
gonna-
thing.
I'm gonna use one of my free invokes, a well-made disguise.
Mhm.
I think the reasoning is kind of obvious.
Yeah.
And then I will also tag Florence is my guiding light, and
Ooh.
I'm going to kind of like shakily, like I'm not well. I'm not well, and I just like reach my hand out, and because we're so interconnected, we have history. I think she knows to like go into this like nurse like role, like you're my caregiver
Oh yeah.
and you're taking care of me. So like I reach my hand out to you that like I'm putting on an act and I need you to act along with me.
I like whip out my my handkerchief and I like start like dabbing your forehead. And I'm like, "Oh, you should sit over here."
I think I just broke the screen. I don't know what I did, but now it says crafts 84 days ago. So I'm just gonna leave
Oh
it.
wow.
That's
Oh
same
wow.
I
bug.
got myself up to a 6. So I don't know what happened.
So I've looked into this. This bug exists because of the version of the Fate core system we're on, and to upgrade, I also need to upgrade Foundry, and I don't trust that all the bugs will work out yet. So we're just
Yeah.
gonna have to live with it for a bit.
Love it.
But so you started with a 2, and then you're tagging 2 aspects, so that gets you to a 6. So that meets it.
Yeah.
And so that means that you succeed, but with a small concession. So Watson like looks you up and down, and you feel like he's about to like notice something, like something pings in his mind, but then he recognizes the professor and he turns his attention towards her and says, "Ah, Professor Algard, so you do have an affiliation with this shop. Interesting. Good to note down." And he takes out this book that's clipped to the side of his like belt on his armor and starts like scribbling down in it with a fountain pen, just writing down. He glances over at you, Esther, and he says, "Are you the proprietor of this derelict establishment?"
Yes, this derelict establishment that you marched into.
Felicity narrows her eyes and hops off of the cabinet. "Who's this joker?" she says. "I," Watson says, represent High Verdant Ophelia. I'm her attaché, you might say. Her main man. I've come to investigate this shop in the hope that it will give me some clue towards the direction of Lilith Mortimer. Are any of you aware of her whereabouts?"
Of who?
The girl on the posters. No, we don't know her.
Ugh. Such rabble is beneath my time. That's a phrase. Fine, look around, but get out quickly. I do not enjoy the harsh dealings of the Verdanthi.
Don't worry, I wouldn't spend longer than I have to in this place. He walks over to you, Lily, and looks at you and glances at your face. And he's like looks at the burn victim scars, and he puts a hand up to his chin and glances down at you. His eyebrows raised slightly. And he says, "I'm sorry for the pain you've suffered, my dear girl. It seems like you've been in a horrible accident. My sympathies."
Trust me, she deserved it. Pay no attention to my assistant.
Assistant? He turns back to you, Esther. Deserved it? Pray tell.
A gutter rat, nothing more.
He gives a slight cough, turns back to look at Lily, and then looks at you, Esther, and says, "This is your ward, correct?"
That is a strong term.
Uh-huh. Well, it seems that you are taking care of her in any aspect. A piece of advice: you may give some more attention to caring for a sick and hurt person that's in your care.
More attention than free room and board? Yes, I will consider my own dealings. Thank you very much.
He frowns. Professor, he turns to look at you.
Yes.
How goes our arrangement?
Big eyebrows over here.
Big eyebrows.
Have you given it any further consideration?
I've been considering and looking and haven't found anything worthy of report.
I see. That is most unfortunate. I will inform my lady of your decision, but keep in mind that the consequences will be on your head. He glances around one last time at the shop. Oh, I'm going to miss this place. And then he turns around and walks out the door and shuts it behind him.
Miss?
I'm sorry, what?
A while back, maybe 2 weeks ago, Ophelia cornered me in the library and demanded that I give you up. And to get her off my back so I could leave the library alive, I told her I would do so. But obviously, I haven't done that.
Oh, so you've made essentially a binding verbal contract with one of the most powerful people in Chandla. So that's fantastic. I'm so happy that we know about this now, Florence.
And maybe this means that they have their eyes on you. I mean, they could be following your every move.
We know they're. Did you see his notebook? His like giant book. Actually, while we're talking so loudly, and Florence goes over to the window to like peer out.
You see Watson strolling down the street, He turns, stops at an alleyway, glances down it, waves a hand, and then continues on down the street.
He's so much. I feel like we could use that book he's got on him. What do
Or
y'all
just
think about
follow
stealing
him
it?
to find out where Ophelia is?
Are you ready for that?
The,
Why? I don't understand why you didn't grab him right then, Felicity says. We could have tied him up and everything.
and I'm sure the people outside who were just waiting for him to not come out would then march in and kill us all. Or worse.
You think he had people waiting? Yeah, that's smart, Esther. I gotta admit, that is pretty smart.
I am pretty smart, yes.
What do you think, Lily? Do you want to stretch your legs?
I may look ill, but I'm always ready.
I bet if we could steal that book off of him, and we should go now, we could get a lot of great information about
already
what
left.
they know. You've already left?
Okay.
Damn it!
So, Lily, as you start to, like, walk out the door and leave, Felicity goes, "Whoa!" and gets, like, tugged along behind you.
Oh, yeah.
And as you're, like, walking out the door, she's like, "I'm not sure I'm the most stealthy, but I'll do my best."
Oh, God.
I was gonna get someone killed. And I guess I follow afterwards.
Okay,
Do
sounds
we,
good.
do we have a cart, or would a cart be a common thing to come upon in the street?
No,
we have a wheelbarrow.
you do have a wheelbarrow, yes.
Yes, it's an artist tool.
I mean,
I
you gotta have
jump
something to
in the-
transport those statues.
Right. I still want to maintain my state, and I almost feel like, because we're in broad daylight, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we've already, recognized that there's likely other people around. So I hobble into the wheelbarrow and then just wait for Felicity to push me down the street.
Do you like throw a blanket over you? That's what Florence does. She like grabs like a tarp and just like herks it over you.
I want to look like I'm going to the doctor's office for an appointment or something. So I'm not
Okay.
trying to hide. I'm just
In that
trying
case,
to
it's
look
quilts.
like, bring out your dead moment.
All right, sounds good. Okay, in that case, as Watson strolls down the street, I think this is a perfect time for what we in the Fate parlance like to call a contest.
Yeah.
So this is a series of exchanges that will basically, depending on how we roll, we're going to have a couple of exchanges where we roll against Watson, and the first person to get 3 victories in the exchange wins. If you succeed against Watson and Watson doesn't, then you get 1 victory. If you succeed with style, then you get 2 victories. And no one else succeeds with style as well. If you tie with Watson, no one gets a victory, and there's an unexpected twist that occurs. So, in this case, the 3 of you are trying to follow Watson, and Watson is trying to notice you before you follow him to whatever place he's actually going. So what I want you all to do is to pick a representative. I think this is stealth. I think also that Watson has a situational aspect here called look, I feel like 3 people following him down the road with a wagon in tow,
4
clattering
people.
along, or 4 people, sorry, following him down the road with a wagon in tow, clattering along the cobblestones. Like, you're not exactly the stealthiest group.
It's true.
Is there like a doctor's office in that general direction?
There could be if you were to spend a fate point.
Yeah. I'll stick with the bit, sure.
Okay.
Cause yeah, so like I don't know if like stealth is really like we're just going along about our day. I have an appointment for my ailment.
Okay. All right. So, okay. That's okay. I can give you an aspect for that as well then. I'm not going to give you any free invokes on it, but it will be something you could tag fate points on.
So do I lost a fate point for that?
Yeah. Okay, here's what I think is better. You could basically once you roll deceive. No,
but
no.
but theoretically, any of us could use that.
Yeah, yes, you're right. And I think spending a fate point to change the story slightly is one of the understood options for spending fate points. So I think this makes perfect sense. Okay. So I'll give you an aspect that anybody could use. If you want to do that, Lily.
Well, like basically I wouldn't jump in the wheelbarrow if that wasn't a good option. So, you know, like let's pretend we're going to a place for an errand
Gotcha.
in the wheel. So like I'm still, so I guess it's just contingent on like, can that make sense in the story?
Yeah, totally. If you spend a fate point for sure. And then I'll give you guys this excuse.
Okay.
Oh, I see. And then you're saying because you're not. Yeah, but I think you still have 4 people following him. So like that's
Yeah.
like yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. So now we go into these exchanges. So this begins with and keep in mind in between these exchanges you could roll to create advantages for yourself, that sort of thing. As Watson walks down the street and you're like following behind him, you notice that in that alleyway you can see a group of men who look like they have billy clubs and maybe a couple of knives stuffed into their belts, dispersing and walking the opposite direction. It seems like Esther's hunch was exactly correct. If Watson hadn't left that place, they would have stormed in and rescued him. So you're following behind Watson. He takes a turn to the left, heading down the main street of Chandla, climbing up into the higher heights above the choking like lower realms of the city, and he's heading up towards like the rich people part of town. So let's go with our first exchange here. I think stealth is the correct way to go. You all should pick a representative from your group who's going to make the roll every round of the exchange, and then Watson will always just roll against you. Now, I have 3 fate points to spend in this exchange because I get 1 for every PC in the exchange. I think I get more than that, but 3 will be enough for me. And we'll go from there. And we'll see if you can successfully follow him.
Oh, I think it should be Lily.
Am I the stealthiest?
You're not, but I think you are. I think you are the leader of this.
The advantage of using Lily is that Lily could technically use the last well-made disguise invoke, which might be good.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. 4. Pretty good roll. Got a 5, though. He's really good at noticing things, as you may have realized.
Yeah. Then I guess
Could you use a well-made disguise?
You certainly
Yeah.
could. You could tag that last aspect on it, use that invoke, and then you could win this exchange. Or you can let don't forget, like you need to get a certain amount of victories to win. So like if you let Watson win this one, he has 1, but then you still have more chances to get your own victories, right? So
is the loss being 1 point.
yeah.
Does that matter?
Well, so as soon as Watson gets 3, he wins the contest. So your team is at 0 and Watson's at 1, if that makes sense. So if you're like, I don't want to blow the fate point here, maybe we wait for a future situation or take this round and then we set ourselves up for the next one. You know, you could do that.
I would use the free invoke personally.
Yeah, up to you.
Yeah, because he could win. Like he could win a higher. Like
He could
I
succeed
only
with
have to
style.
use 1 for this one to get it. So I'll use my well-made disguise.
Okay, sounds good. I'll get rid of that there then. Okay, so those free invokes are gone, but the aspect remains. Okay, so great. That kicks you up to 6, correct? 4 to 6. Okay, that means you all have 1 victory. Nice. Okay, I'm just going to keep track of this on my end. So it's 1-0 right now. So Watson takes a left turn, starts to head up the higher parts of the city. And then he does this thing where, like, he stops for a moment at, like, a newspaper stand, buys one of the newspapers with your face plastered across the front page, Lily. And he's, like, flipping through it and reading some of the things in it. And you notice that as he's doing this, what he's actually doing is using it as cover to, like, check and see if anybody's actually following him, right? Because he's not dumb. Like, he suspected maybe that the four of you, or the three of you rather, might, I know Felicity's there, but might take action after he left the shop. So what do you all do to get out of the way and avoid this?
Who has a death mask still?
None of us.
Joel.
Yeah, Joel has it. Yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah.
Lily's has turned, and then Joel has it that he's been using, and he took it with him when he went to Ophelia.
Well, I think at this point in our venture, it wouldn't be unrealistic that, like, we've arrived at the doctor's office. Like, maybe we, like, ditch the barrel
Sure.
somewhere.
Yeah,
We
that's
parked the wheelbarrow out front.
okay. Yeah. Well, I thought we weren't in the cart, but yeah, totally. That's fair. So what? Like, you're just like walk into the doctor's office and hide in there?
Well, you know how doctor's offices have really big windows from the lobby.
Gotcha. Okay, sure.
So, like, what if, like, I, hobble out and then am able to, like, peer through the window and still have a line of sight as I, like, take my seat in, like, a waiting area.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sounds good. All right. So you're in the waiting area, chilling there. Sounds good. Watson doesn't notice through the window, and then eventually he puts the newspaper down, pays the man a single coin, and then takes it with him, and then strolls off down the street. You all exit the office. The receptionist, like, looks up as you're walking away, and she says, "Oh, so you're all right. Okay, have a pleasant day." And then you continue on down the street.
I toss my quilt off and exchange it for my typical cloak with,
Okay.
like, my deep hood.
Sounds good. I'm going to get rid of this aspect then, since you're not on the way to the doctor's anymore. Okay. So, Watson continues walking down the street. He takes a sharp right turn and starts heading up a steep hill incline where you're pretty exposed, but there are a couple of discarded carts with old moldy fruit in them, probably trundled up here from down at the markets where they were. They'll be risen up higher to go to the main orchards of Chandla, which are within the city and off an arm in the upper parks area. But there's a bunch of those around here. And Watson starts, like, ascending higher and higher. Who wants to be the representative this time around? Or do we want to create any advantages for ourselves?
Ooh.
Don't forget, Felicity is here. Like, she's following along behind you. And, like, Watson knows that she's part of your group, but there may be a way to use her as well if you wanted to. Whatever you are feeling.
There's
So it's
always
the
the opportunity
steep
of a
alleyway.
distraction.
Yeah, it's like it's not an alleyway, it's a street that's steep and, like, climbs, think like a San Francisco hill, and then it's got a bunch of these, like, carts with moldy pieces of fruit in them, or bits and bobs of fruit that need to be washed out and cleaned before the next batch is trundled down to the market.
Interesting. And are these carts, like, on a trolley system? Like, are they being pulled up? Or
No.
are they
These are just like
Okay.
wheelbarrows, like what you had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Gotcha.
my god, wait, in that case, I guess can we try to blend in? Can I say that we didn't park the wheelbarrow and can we try to blend in with the wheelbarrows?
Yeah.
Like
totally.
maybe Felicity and I are like putting fruit in the wheelbarrows.
Okay. Wait, like you're getting, like, bits out and, like, putting them in?
Yeah, like he might look over and be like, "Oh, those are just two people with their wheelbarrow at the market."
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. we can say that. Do you want to like create an advantage with it somehow with a skill, or do you want to be the representative this time with stealth? Or
I guess I'll maybe try to make an advantage with it with deceive, I suppose. Like almost like make the place seem busier and hard to like discern like what's going on because that's just wow, there's so many people with their wheelbarrows here putting fruit in the wheelbarrows.
yeah, totally. Okay.
So-
Yeah, deceive sounds good. Um, let's call this. I mean, I'm gonna roll his investigate for this to see if he has the wherewithal to notice this.
Wait, question, GM. If I'm just trying to create an advantage, doesn't it just aren't I just doing it?
You
It's
you
not a
have
contest?
no, you have to roll against a difficulty. It's not a contest to get a victory point, but it is you have to roll against a difficulty. And in this case, Watson is like the direct opposition to you. So I'm having him roll to oppose you. So if you beat Watson, you get 1 free invoke on this aspect you're creating, and if you succeed with style against Watson, you get 2.
Okay,
Okay.
quick sidebar. This is giving me like major Spyro 2 vibes. There's this part where this guy is like running to these like orange trees and then he stops and like looks over his shoulder and you have to hide at like the right moment. And
Yeah.
like that's all I can think about and I'm like, where are the orange trees?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've played this exact level in dozens of video games. So I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
What do I have to clear? I guess
Let's
he's
see.
rolling too.
Hey, you beat him.
Nice job.
Do you want to
Woo!
push it for a little more juice later on, or leave it like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna push it and succeed with style.
Okay.
So I'm going to use a striking vanity, which is to say that at one point Felicity puts like a pear into the wheelbarrow that looks kind of like it looks like I don't know, like kind of shitty, like she made a bad
Mhm.
choice.
Yeah.
And I say no, 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 or maybe I say no, 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 and like whap it to the ground, and then like throw like a couple of coins at the vendor, and like there's this whole confusing scene. It's all very loud. So
Okay. All right. Yeah. There we go. Just a bunch of fruit vendors. 2 free invokes. Congrats. All right, team. Who's our representative this time?
I think Esther has to keep going.
Okay. Esther,
Who?
roll stealth or deceive, your choice.
well, I guess I'll roll stealth, I suppose. Wow, I'm good at that. Wow, I didn't know that.
Right?
So sneaky. Okay, here we go.
3v5.
Okay, well, just a couple of fruit vendors.
Yep.
Or a bunch. So I'll use one of those invokes.
So that'll get a
Um,
tie, which means which means a random thing will happen and nobody gets any in victories.
And can I can I say what's theirs is mine by trying to take someone else's fruit out of their wheelbarrow?
Sure. Like these are just like discarded fruit pieces, but yeah, you could. Yeah.
Well, as in someone else with a wheelbarrow, I'm imagining is also picking up discarded fruit pieces, and I say, no, that's sorry, no, that's mine.
I think the way to spin this is there's like an urchin or something like picking over the discarded fruit pieces for food. Like they're desperately trying to get food for the week, and you're just like, no, get out of the way.
Right, and I probably like whap them with whatever is nearby.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'll spend that fate point.
Cool. All right. In that case, you folks pick up another victory. So that's 2 victories. Okay. All right. Watson turns around, like looks down the street a bit, like stares around, looks at the commotion that Esther's making, and then just like, and then shakes his head and walks off. He's climbing higher and higher now, up into the upper parts of the city, and we've reached the point where you're so high up that you can see the lower parts of the city, like that slope down the hill. So you can see a bunch of buildings and the ghost rods that hang off of them. It looks a lot like candles, where the city of Chandler gets its name, and the lights in the buildings look like twinkling stars over a black mat. It actually is kind of beautiful, or at least they would look that way in the nighttime. It's daytime. Sorry. Okay. Watson turns to the right, and he comes to a center part where there's a fountain in the middle of this like circular courtyard, and there's like 5 or 6 different directions he could go here, and there's a large crowd of people who are like walking around and drifting through the crowd. And at this point in time, Watson slips into the crowd, and you feel like you're gonna lose him. Who's the representative this time around?
Well, I think it's got to be me this time, just because everyone else has had a turn, even
Yeah,
though
we've got
I'm
a
terrible at
rule.
stealth.
Okay, sounds good. Well, this time around, it's not so much about hiding from Watson, it's about not losing him in the crowd of people by the fountain. So go ahead and roll Notice, or another skill that you think is relevant.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, friends. I have a 1 in Notice, but here we are.
Okay.
Is there some other way you could
could do
spin this?
yeah, do something else. That's
Like-
not
You
Notice.
All right. My options here for good things are will, and I've got lore, and I've got contacts.
It could be
Uh,
contacts. Like maybe it's like you see someone you know, and you're like, hey, like tail that guy or something like that.
I'm almost envisioning like how can we go above the crowd? So like
Yeah.
You're thinking
getting higher
athletics?
up.
I also have a 1 in athletics, so it's not much better, but we could
You could will one of your teammates to jump on your shoulders or
Or
something.
or maybe like you know someone using contacts who you can like go above above the crowd and like watch where he goes or something, like
You
someone
find your
like a
tallest
storefront.
friend.
Okay, how about this? I'm like looking around and I see one of my students who happens to be extremely tall. Like this is the tallest man that ever lived.
Okay.
And I go over and I'm just like, "Michael, hi. It's so good to see you. Hey, real quick, I'm trying not to lose my friend. Do you see a man with silver hair and he's got armor on?"
Michael has like he has like this brown bottle in his hand, and he looks at you, and you get for the second that there's this like shock of fear that runs through him, as like his professor from school is here while he's like drinking beer on a weekend, and he's like looking at you, and he's looking down at the bottle. He's like, hi professor, how's it going? Sure. Let me have a look. And he's like glancing around. I think, yeah, so here's how I think I want to play this, Florence. To have that happen, I think you got to roll contacts, and
Okay.
then if you succeed, you find Michael, and Michael will find Watson.
Okay.
And then I'll oppose with Watson's stealth. So here we go.
Okay.
Wow.
Woohoo!
I got slammed there.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But you all are not exactly the stealthiest group. And Watson is incredibly fastidious. Which means he doesn't really... Well, would he be fastidious here? He's probably not going to be fastidious in the middle of the crowd. Is there anything else I can tag?
I wouldn't be caught dead being fastidious in the middle of a crowd.
Well, like, he's supposed to be, like, anal about stuff, but, like, he's not, like... He's not going to be anal about, like, moving stealthily through a crowd. I'm saying I don't think that aspect really applies. Let's see here. I don't think I have any other aspects I can tag at the moment that makes sense with this. Okay. All right. You win, which means you get 3 victories. Okay, Cool. So Michael like glances around and he like looks and he sees like Watson's head bobbing above the crowd and he goes, "Oh, you mean that guy?"
Yes. Which way? Which exit is he going towards?
You see, you can see him now that Michael's pointed him out. Watson like cuts across the fountain and walks to the south. So he like jackknifed and then went down a different road. You almost lost him, but you caught him just at the tail end.
Thank you. I will see you next month in class. Have a great vacation.
Yeah, sure thing, Professor. You too. And you all transfer and head off, following Watson down the road. And since you've won by getting 3 victories in this first example of contests in the Fate system, Watson walks ahead and ends up at this high mansion that has a black gate in front of it. And you can see that there is a black pillar coming out of the top, coming out to the left of the gate. There's 2 black pillars on either side of the gate, and there's a couple of Verdanthi guards hanging outside. And there's a lock around the chain of the gate, very similar to Lily's old house, except on the black pillar itself, you can see that there's a gold plate, and embossed on that gold plate is the name Urmaz. Watson walks up to the guards at the gate, comes over to them, speaks to them for a few moments, and then rips a piece of paper out of his book and hands it over to them. And they like look at each other, look down at the note, nod their heads, and then one of them tucks the piece of paper into his pocket, and then they stroll away. Watson turns around one last time and then starts heading down the street. And as you follow behind him for a bit, he heads into the High Verdanthi Church, like the main church that Lily escaped from that one time, and walks down into the main cloister there. You could follow him there, but that place is swarming with Verdanthi guards. And you're pretty sure that Ophelia, if she is there, like that's like a place you'll need to assault. But that's where Watson eventually ends up as his final destination.
Okay. I wonder what he told those guards. I wonder if Esther, do you have anyone watching your studio?
Yes, I throw coins at small urchins walking by every once in a while.
And is there anything very valuable there that you would care if got destroyed?
Well, obviously all of my incredible works and my ever so dazzling wardrobe.
I feel like we need to go back.
Follow the guard. He didn't look like anything special. We could take him.
We could take him. Yeah, just Watson's parting word of it's gonna be a bummer to destroy this place. And then sending out guards.
He did say, "I'm going to miss this place," but where he ended up was in front of the Urmaz mansion with the guards out front, then handed them a piece of paper, and then went to the Verdanthi High Church.
And then they left, right? Like
No. The guards stayed there.
They stayed there. Okay.
Would it be fair that I just wait for Watson to be out of sight? The guard goes around a corner and I assault him?
The guards are standing at the front gate to the mansion, so like they're like watching the place.
Walked away, right? Oh, you meant Watson.
Yeah,
walked away.
Watson like turns and leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never used to.
Mm-hmm.
Should we check out the mansion then?
It's
Good.
less guarded.
I feel like anything is less guarded, but also it sounds like a fun thing to do.
I want to know what's on that piece of paper.
We could just punch him.
Wait, sorry. This might be relevant. Why was the fruit vendor thing? Why is that invoke gone?
Oh, because you're not around the
Vendors.
You're not around the fruit carts anymore.
Yeah, but I have a bunch of fruit now in my wheelbarrow.
You
Rotting
just
fruit?
took a bunch of rotting fruit? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think you should try to steal that piece of paper.
You know what? I'll put it back.
Let's do it. Are you
Woohoo!
gonna dump all the rotting fruit at the feet of the guards?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to like quote unquote sell them fruit.
That's hysterical. Okay.
And then can one of you, yeah, I guess, and then can one of you try to do your best to, I don't know, take it, I guess?
What
Take
does the guard do with the piece of paper?
He took it from Watson and he tucked it into his belt. So it's like on him.
I think I'm gonna do a player character sigh. One of you take care of this, and then or like grab the note, and then I walk forward with the wheelbarrow and whistle a merry tune.
The guard looks up at you, approach, and sticks a hand out. He says, "No passage. Turn around. You don't belong here."
Of course I don't belong here, and of course I don't have passage. I'm trying to sell you some fruit. Check out these sick wares. And I think I dump the fruit cart on him.
There's like a
The
there's like a clanking of armor as he like turns to look at what you have. So are you saying you like walk in front of the gate that these two guards are guarding, and you just up into wheelbarrow of rotten fruit right at their feet?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
look, I have all this fruit for sale. And I just push the wheelbarrow forward. Like, and
Can that create an invoke of like a disgusting mess?
I think what it will do is, yeah, it'll let Esther roll provoke right now against the guards to see if they can distract them effectively enough. I'm gonna
That
oppose
is-
with the guards' notice.
that is my desire, yes.
Okay. Ooh, 2 minuses. Okay. Well,
And I would like to use my just a bunch of fruit vendors free invoke
okay,
to
sure.
succeed with style.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, let's see. So that kicks you up to what, 4?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to spend a fate point for their aspect Defender of the Chandlin Streets. Because they're focused. They're not going to be distracted by just a bunch of fruit, at least not normally. So I'm going to take away your succeed with style. So you have 1.
But I'm going to use a fate point.
Oh, okay. All right. You're gonna spend again. Okay.
Yes, which is to say, everything I make is gold, and I say, truly, look at them. Check out this squash. I recognize that's not fruit, but it's a pretty good vegetable.
One of the guards goes, well, technically, since it has seeds, it is a fruit. Shut up. Okay. Sounds good. We'll get rid of that. Fruit vendor invoke. You kicked up the other one. Let's see here. Okay, so that means that you would be at 6 as opposed to the guard's 3, which means that is a success with style. Okay, what's the name of this new aspect you're creating as you're provoking them?
Check out my dazzling fruit.
Okay.
This is the most chaotic we've ever been.
I don't know about most chaotic, but it's up there. Okay, there we go. Check out my dazzling fruit. All right, there we go.
Maybe I didn't throw all of it on the ground. Maybe I just threw some of the
I think all of it is what's needed.
Yeah, you're right.
The
Just
wettest
smelly
stuff
pile.
just slid off.
So I like to think at the moment, one or more of the guards are like looking through the fruit on the ground going, pretty good, actually.
I think, yeah. They're like glancing through it, like picking through it and stuff. One of them is like trying to wipe it off his boots. So Lily, this is your moment if you're going for it.
I am going for it. I am going to like run. Okay. I think while all of this is happening, I'm like getting Felicity in on my act,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to just be too, because she's young, right? I
Mhm.
can't remember her age.
Yeah,
but
she's
young,
like
maybe
she's
a
like
young
early
adult.
20s.
So
Wait,
we're like,
is that true? I feel like Felicity is probably mine and Joel's age. Like in
Well,
the 30s.
she died, right? Like she died like a couple of years ago. She died at least 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay.
she's totally, yeah, we're pals. me and her, we gal pals. Okay.
Watch out,
So-
folks. Here comes the youth.
So we are like running through the square, kind of giggling, like playing a game of tag or just being, mischievous. And I want to run into the fruit and then like stumble through it into the guard, and basically like grab at his hips and slip the note out of the belt.
Okay, this is burglary for sure, and I'm gonna roll the guard's opposition here. Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
Well, defender of the Shundland Streets, I am, and guess what? I'm gonna re-roll because it works.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
it sure does work.
It never works. Never.
All right, sometimes it works. Okay, you succeed with style, Lily. So the guard doesn't even notice. Like, he's too busy like trying to get all these squash pieces off of his boots. You slip the note out of his belt with ease. It's in your hand, and you're away, cavorting with felicity before anybody even notices you're there. Like, the guard like vaguely notices that you bump into him, but he's more concerned about the squash at his feet.
Esther, I think you gotta demand some money now.
Yeah, how does this close out, Esther? Now that you've upended rotting fruit pieces on these folks.
Well, surprisingly dazzling rotting fruit. I think.
That's right.
Yeah, I think. That. Wait, what's the currency called?
I just been using coins. I actually didn't come up with a currency name. It's one of the failures of the setting. But yeah.
No. Coins is great.
Okay.
Like, I like the idea of coins as the name of a currency and not actually a like round solid like piece of metal. It's yeah. You there? I'll take 3 coins. Thank you very much.
He looks at you, looks up, looks down at the fruit, and the guard says, "I can't eat any. Just pay the man. Get it, or just pay them. I get him out of our way." Yeah. So, he hands over 3 coins, and looks at you and just like shrugs his shoulders, and says, "Get out of here."
Wonderful. I'm gonna note 3 coins to throw at urchins later.
Yeah. That just goes into the urchin fund for sure.
It's been fun. Wow.
I get down into a private alleyway and I open up the piece of paper.
Okay. It says 2 days from now, tonight, we'll conduct another experiment. Have extra men ready.
Oh boy.
Did you say 2 days from now at night?
Yes. Sorry, did I say 2 night? 2 days from now, night, we'll conduct another experiment. Have more men ready.
That's ominous. Okay. What kind of experiment do we think we're doing here? Is the experiment trying to find Lily? Is the experiment something with the with one of the rights? Is the experiment
You have
Whatever
no
it is,
clue.
it doesn't sound good.
You are like looking at the note, and you all turn to look up at the mansion, and you realize that the only clues to what's going on might be in that house.
Oh no.
And there's like a tall fence around the house, I
There's
presume.
there's a massive iron gate with sharp spikes deterring any intruders. Yes. The house itself is an old and crumbling thing. It obviously hasn't been tended to in years. It's breaking down. There's broken windows, cobwebs hanging from every corner. The chimney is losing some of its bricks, crumbling into the yard. You can see the wood sagging inward with age. And it's all painted black.
Does Florence have any like role history to know anything about the house?
That's a great question. What do I know about this this building? I
Well-
would bet so much money there is a tunnel underneath this building. The ghost
Well,
snarls.
you know one thing, and that's that the name on the nameplate Urmaz is the name of Oscar Urmaz, the owner of Paracanassa Books.
It's true.
Ernie!
It's also, according to what Lily has told you and what you've seen in your visions, Lily, the same house that you were at when you performed your last seance before you were with Ophelia and killed in that alley.
Creepy.
This is the house. Wait. This is the house where I did my seance and then I was murdered that night.
Yep.
I'm just repeating back what you said. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
I've been here. This is I don't know whose house it is though. It's not.
It's the Urmazes, like the Urmaz
Oh
family.
yeah. That's right.
So Oscar Urmaz was like the head of that group of Paracanassa Books who started the experiments that created Ernie, like turned Ernie into what he is. You freed Oscar Urmaz's ghost from the shackles of his body, and then he screamed up into the ether.
It all comes back to Ernie.
maybe Ernie can tell us more about this place.
It
Yeah,
could be time to
I-
go to Erntown.
I think
Erntown?
so.
Who's this Ernie you all
Ernie.
keep talking about?
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll explain on the way.
All right.
TLDR, it's super gross, and I need a vat.
Well, Esther, you're in luck because you remember there are vats at Paracanassa
Mhm.
Books.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's go to the bookstore. So, Felicity, imagine a bug, but like a really, really big bug. She just kind of describes Ernie like this.
Like a large, gross slug person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How's your stomach?
Well, it's better since it doesn't have a carriage wheel going through it.
Super.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh,
Lilith, too soon.
with that, gang, I think we'll take a short 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and finish up this session.
Sounds good.
Be right back.
Be right back. Hey, everybody, we're back. Thanks for hanging in with us. All right. As we come back,
They missed so much.
they did. They missed a lot. I missed a lot. I just got back myself. I don't know what you guys talked about during break. The band. I wasn't there for the band. Our group has left the Ermaz mansion and has wandered back down into the lower reaches of the city, into the dusty and dim corridors of Chandla, to once again find Paracanassa Books, a place we came to so long ago.
Wow.
And I need to fix this for our viewing audience. There we go. Okay. So you all are coming down the street, walking into Paracanassa Books, or walking to get close to it, and you notice that this time around, it seems like there's 4 or 5 guards positioned outside Paracanassa Books from the Verdanthe. Just walking around, guarding the place. I said 4 or 5. I meant 5.
Oh wow.
Wow.
A lot has changed since
And one
we
of
were
them
here
has a
last.
red ring around them. I don't like that.
Oh no.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky.
And like not only that, but it's like the ring itself is like thicker than the other ones.
Yeah, it's rude.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is this, and I'm fine to roll empathy if I need to for this, but I'm curious, like, what's the general energy? Like, is this a high? I mean, 5 guards is a lot, but like, how long have they been guarding? Like, is there any fatigue from the soldiers? Are they on high alert?
Oh yeah, I think that's a perfect empathy roll. That's not that difficult either. I'll say difficulty 2, so beat that. Nice, you just made it.
I'll take it.
So that means you succeed, but with a minor concession. So the guards don't look tired. They've obviously been changing shifts every now and then, and obviously with the number of guards that are outside of this place, there's there's something pretty important that they're guarding. Like, and they're also being like pretty aggressive about it. Like, anytime anybody like wandering down the street gets too close to the bookstore, one of them like steps out of formation and then just shoves them hard. Like, this isn't like the kind of guards that come up to you and talk to you. These are the kind of guards that draw swords and attack if you dare to step too close to what they're guarding.
Feisty. Okay.
Do any of them look like they're like missing any vitamins or I don't know, like
What?
just a little hungry maybe?
Well, they're covered in hoods and cloaks, or hoods and face masks, so you have no idea.
And there's no back door? Or are both doors guarded?
Not that you remember from last time. You know Ernie must have a way of getting out, but like, you don't know. There's no back door to the shop that you remember.
Wait, I thought Ernie just like stayed in there like all the time.
Oh no, he's got to
Wait,
go out to hunt for food.
Oh fuck.
Ernie can move?
Yeah, Ernie. You saw Ernie move. Yeah, Ernie like crawls around. He can hurl spit globs of death. He like eats rats. He asked you all to bring rats next time you visited.
Oh fuck, we gotta go pick up some rats.
Gotta go pick
okay.
up some rats.
If we were to say go to the building across the street from Paracanassa Books and go up to the roof, could we see inside the second story windows?
You
That's
could,
what I was gonna do.
but the
I wanna
building,
jump in one of the windows.
but that building happens to be dilapidated and run down.
Oh, cool.
So you could try that. It would just be somewhat dangerous because you'd have to climb up through a derelict building to like look at it.
Well, Florence should not do that, but maybe some other spry young things in our party should give it a go.
What I think we should do is I should make up like a smoke bomb of some capacity because you know I've got my stacks of herbs, and leave that with one of you, and then Felicity and I should venture into the rundown building in an attempt to enter through a window, or at least gain more information about what's going on.
Why don't we okay, so let's make a smoke bomb advantage. That sounds like a great idea. But what if you two climb just the bookstore on the outside and get in through a window?
I'm concerned that the guards will see because it sounds like they're walking around the building,
Yeah,
or
they-
are
they're
they just out front?
no, they're patrolling. Like they're actively looking around every corner of the building outside. They're
If the
making
building next door is dilapidated, why don't we set it on fire?
it's brick and wood. You could set it on fire. The danger of that is that it might catch and like transfer to the bookstore itself. So if you want to take that risk, you could try it. That's a wild plan, but you could try it.
It'd be a very big distraction.
Florence
They're just going
knows
from 1
in
to 100.
Florence knows in Chandlan history, like this, like burning down a dilapidated building in a cloistered, clumped area like this is how massive fires start. Like, if you were to do that, you're essentially risking a lot of lives.
It's true. It's true. I am doing that. All right. All right. We're
Are you a
thinking out loud
pirate?
here. I mean, today.
Mm.
We could.
Steph's a little
All right,
hangry.
all right. It's fine. I'm not hangry. I have lots of tea.
Oh, okay.
Lawrence might be.
Tea.
He
sounds
hasn't
like-
eaten in like 3 weeks.
That sounds like
All
coke.
the more reason we should go find some rats.
Seriously.
We can find some racks. Okay, but we have to take out these guards. Or
Let me see what kind of weapons I can craft. We'll
I
start
feel
there.
like any form of trying to hurt or kill the people is going to go poorly.
we need to distract them. I also am wondering when the change of guard is. I feel like we need to wait and see how long their shifts are.
Could do that. Could just post up somewhere across the street and watch.
hmm Because if we like make a distraction and then the change of guard is in 2 minutes, that'll be all for naught.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Good point.
So what are we doing, gang?
I think observing them might make more sense. I like the idea of sending
And-
Lilith up just to like get a little bit more information.
Okay.
Should we all stake out in the old building, or do you guys want to find a different building and then Felicity and I go into the old one?
Can I say that in character? Absolutely not. This is you, 100% big hundo.
Okay, then
Hondo?
at least while I'm gone, maybe try and pick up some rats so we can get Ernie on our side.
Sure, fine. You there, Chitlet.
Sorry, are you calling out to an urchin?
Yes, I'm calling out to an urchin.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
3.
We
No, bring me. No, 4 rats.
we need to give Chandla an aspect that says swarming with urchins, just so Esther can call on it.
Right? I was just gonna say there's so many lost children.
Yeah,
Like
it
So
does.
conveniently everywhere.
It does fit. Like Catherine was one of those lost children. Like it makes sense. But like, okay, so, yeah, okay. So Esther, you yell out to this urchin. The urchin turns and looks at you and gives you like this blank look, like a what? How am I supposed to do that?
Your hands, you little fool. And then I think I flick a coin at the urchin.
It like hits him in the forehead and he catches it. He goes, I can't catch rats. I can't do. They bite you. Those things are poisonous. I'm not.
You drive a hard bargain. Here, you little scamp. And I flick the second coin at him.
Okay. You gotta roll contacts or rapport or something. Honestly, you should take a stunt that's like the Urchin Network that lets you do things like this.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that. That will finally be my third stunt.
Okay.
Okay, Urchin Network. What is it?
I think the ability should be there's always an urchin at hand to get a small favor done for me, and if I succeed at whatever role type you choose, like choose one, but like whatever role type you choose that makes sense, you can get them to do more dangerous things for you.
I like that. Okay, great. Always an urchin at hand. Do you mean always?
Okay. On the streets of
Chandla?
Chandla, there's always an urchin at hand. Yeah.
I feel like that's a little too limiting, GM. Can I have an urchin anywhere when I'm just sort of out and about?
Okay. Yes. You know what? Fine. But like the only time I think this doesn't make sense is if you're like inside a building, right? Or like inside like a dilapidated rundown building or like inside a shop somewhere. I don't know. Like
I will accept that, but please expect me to expand that concept a little bit as
Sure.
time goes on. Um,
like if you were in the woods and you were like, James, I summon an urchin, I'd be like, no.
they have urchins in the woods.
Oh yeah, just some classic wood urchins over here.
Yeah, that was like a Tolkien thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The wood urchins.
Absolutely. Yeah, the wood urchins of Wood Urchin Hollow, for sure.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yes. Yes. 4 rats. Mm, I was going to give you a 3rd coin, but I actually decided you're not worth that. So just 4 rats, please, for 2 coins.
Okay. You gotta make some sort of roll here. Like either contacts or rapport, something along those lines, to convince
contacts.
this poor child to go catch rats for you.
I think contacts make sense.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is difficulty 1.
Okay. May I throw it out there that perhaps the gold coins could have been a free invoke?
No.
That would have made sense.
No, you could have rolled resources beforehand to create that, I suppose, but no, not at this moment.
All right. Well, I think people are mine to use, so I'll use my last fate point in
Oh my
just try to
God.
intimidate this kid.
Okay. Yeah, he goes, okay, all right, 4 rats, and like turns around and runs off. He will return later, bitten, but with a victory in tow.
I just love that through role-playing games, I can really role-play my fantasies.
Being mean to children.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like we're not making any new ones in the world, right? Like it's somehow worse. All right. Okay, so
In fact, maybe there are only like 3 to 4 urchins in the city at all.
yeah. 3 urchins in a trench coat. All right. Yeah, so he'll return later at an appropriate time with the rats, but what are we doing about the guards? Posting up and watching, or?
Okay. Yeah, I think Lilith and Felicity are climbing up the dilapidated building, and Florence and Esther are observing from a different location.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So the guards, like when you say a different location, it's not super important, but just to set the scene, where? Like, what does it look like?
How about instead of the building across the street, we're in the building next door?
Okay, sounds good.
Wait, I'm going into the building next door. You're in the building across the street.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So that's like a general store. Actually, no, you know what it is? It's a candy store. There's a bunch of different candies and like lollipops and stuff inside the store. So Esther and Florence are standing inside this store with like a bunch of candy surrounding them, and they're looking
Florence
across the
buys-
street at these 5 guards.
Florence buys some lemon drops.
They're very good and very cheap. All right. So you watch the guards. It takes maybe about an hour or so for the shift change to occur. And what happens is that 2 of the guards leave the formation, and then 2 new guards appear down the street. And what you realize from this is that there must be some sort of staggered shift of the guard. So it's never like 5 exit and 5 come. It's always like a continual rotating out of the oldest ones into the newest ones. So the shift changes.
I called silently in my head. I was like, I know this is gonna happen.
Nice. So the shift changes. There's they happen at like interspersed intervals where like every hour 2 of the guards switch, and then every 3 hours 3 of the guards switch. So there's never a moment where the guards are completely fresh and new, so they can easily like exchange information with each other.
I whisper over to Esther. I'm like, "This is an expensive guard."
Yeah, it's very important. Foreclosure notices, by the way, the restrictions in foreclosure notices are still plastered all over the Paracanassa bookstore.
Hmm. We'll have to find some other way in. I don't. Can we? Is this bookstore connected to other stores? Like, are there other buildings like next to this building?
No, it kind of stands alone. There's a dilapidated building that Lily is in, just like across a short alleyway from it. But then right after that, it's right at the turn of a street, so it's like on the corner. So there aren't many other buildings adjacent to it.
I see. Would it be possible to? Uh, I go over to Lilith. From down below, I'm like saying, Lilith.
Oh, okay.
Felicity looks down at you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you know what? What am I doing? Felicity. Do you see any long planks?
She like glances around. I mean, there's some beams, I guess. Or we could rip up some of these old floorboards.
That's wonderful, wonderful. I think we should go over the roof.
She like stares down at you. Okay. Like build a bridge across the alleyway?
Yes, a bridge, but like a literal one.
All right. Yeah, I hope it's not a figurative bridge, Esther.
Okay, great. So,
Esther, there's no way they won't notice this.
Well, pains me to do this.
To do what?
I can always sacrifice an urchin.
Oh my god.
What?
You know, give him like a few coins and have him just run around or something. You know.
I think we need to make a bigger distraction than a child running around.
Oh, well then fine. What distraction do you suggest?
Okay, what if we... I keep thinking about fire. What if we... take
Classic
your wheelbarrow.
Classic PC plan. Set it all on fire. Classic.
We take your wheelbarrow and we light some rotting fruit on fire and we roll it down the street and we just like set it down and see what happens.
What? My wheelbarrow? How am I going to get various statues of myself in strange and evocative positions?
I will buy you a new wheelbarrow if we survive this.
I was planning on upgrading. You'll buy me a nicer wheelbarrow, yes?
I'll buy you a nicer wheelbarrow.
With real wood?
With, no.
Was the only
But it'll be metal.
All right.
Metal's kind of heavy.
You're strong.
What? I am uniquely not strong. Well, maybe of character and heart.
Felicity rolls her eyes.
And then that combined with our smoke bomb
And my crossbow.
and your crossbow. Well, I don't think we should try and take them out. I think we should just massively distract them. It'll put them on high alert, but you know, it'll get us in, probably.
But, you know, just in case. I'm really itching to use my crossbow.
Okay, yeah. I mean, do you want to fight them? We could just fight them. I don't think
I'm thinking fiery wheelbarrow,
Yeah,
smoke bomb, crossbow.
yeah. And we could put them in different areas around the bookstore so they don't know where to look.
We wait till nightfall. We wait until we have the switch of the guards. That starts a 2-hour window, I believe.
Yeah, it'd be the 3-hour
the
window.
next book,
Yep.
3-hour window. And then yeah, we do create a bridge. But I haven't even seen what's inside the house. So I don't
yeah,
know.
go do that.
I feel like I should maybe look around before we finalize this plan, but we're on to something.
Please look around.
Yeah, I mean there are boards like discarded floorboards and stuff and things you could rip up to like build a makeshift bridge across. Like that's not really that difficult. There's even like a significantly long board you could use to get across to the roof. It's just a matter of doing it without them noticing you.
Great. Should we wait till it's nighttime?
Well, you should take a look first.
Take a look at what? Sorry.
Through the second story windows.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah, actually. Lily, if you want to give me a notice roll against difficulty 2, you can do so. Now, dog.
Man.
It's
Oh my God.
it's foggy, dusty glass. There's nothing to see there.
Damn it.
But if it's foggy, then that is to our advantage as well.
It's
If
true.
I can't see them, that means they can't see us.
That's true. That means if anybody's inside, they can't look out.
Oh, I meant down to the street.
What?
Can I see down onto the street? Can I see the guards from where I am?
Yeah, from the dilapidated building you can. I mean, the windows to the second story of the bookstore are
Got it.
foggy.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right, so you folks wait until nightfall. Night
Mhm.
falls. The lights start to come on in the city of Chandla. The glowing blue ghosts hovering above the city create an eerie atmosphere as they do every night. You've seen the guard shifts change a couple of times in this interim.
And Lily has made a smoke bomb.
Oh, yeah,
need
I
to
should,
craft
I
that.
should craft that.
All right, crafts, difficulty 3. Let's try to get some advantages. Killed it! All right.
Oh.
So-
What I like to see.
We love killing.
oh boy, here I go killing again. All right.
That's what I say every day before I go to work.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's a Rick and Morty quote. I'm sorry. All right.
It's okay.
We got ourselves a smoke bomb.
Great. Florence has procured her, procured Esther's wheelbarrow.
Ugh. It hurts
And,
even
like-
thinking of its absence.
Gotten the fire starter ready, and has made it to the the street to the right of the bookstore.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that you've gathered more than just rotten fruit, because rotten fruit actually doesn't burn all that well. So, like,
Yeah.
you got, like, debris and old magazines and discarded newspaper bits, and you're
Wait.
lighting that on fire.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. We don't need to let the GM decide that for us. I think it's just a lot of rotten fruit.
Ew, no. It's also like your coat and like
What do you mean I would know, Wendy? You think I just light fruit on my off time?
I'm just like, how do you
Rotten
know that?
fruit.
Like, what are you getting up to in your free time?
It's
Eating
mushy,
fruit?
wet fruit. Like it's like
Acidic?
soggy. Acidic doesn't mean burn.
Okay, but you know what else is wet? That's right, gasoline.
Oh, you're right. You know,
Ooh.
And
Wow.
what is gasoline? It's just really, really old mushed fruit. Kind of.
That's not right at okay.
That's basically true.
Is it really? Is that what?
I mean, it's all plant matter that's all soggy and stuff.
yeah.
From,
Okay.
from thousands and thousands of years. Tens of thousands. Billions?
Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Sure. Lighting the fire is not really the problem here. It's kicking it down the street, right? So what are we doing?
It is tough that we made it a wheelbarrow and not a cart, because wheelbarrows are sort of uniquely bad at any sort of autonomy.
Would my staking out and having Felicity with me up top with like good visibility of the street and the guards and of my comrades, could that be an advantage that we set?
I'll give you an aspect for that, which is like a high place, so you won't have any free invokes, but I'll give you an aspect for that.
Okay.
Did it work? No, I forgot. I have to click off, and then I have to click, and then it works. All right. So, Florence, tell me a story. What are we doing here? What's happening?
okay. I love telling stories. Okay, so Lawrence has piled high this barrel, and she's got her matches in one hand and she's like almost ready to light it. She's like waiting for some sort of sign from Lilith probably. And she's her intent is to run really fast with it while it's like just starting to catch and then like shove it down the street
Uh-huh.
and just like let it like have its momentum going down and just kind of abandoning it and like let accidents be accidents basically. And um and then she's gonna run and hide after that. But that's the idea.
Okay. All right. What
And
do
it's
you
not run
think?
and hide. You got to run into the building I'm in.
Yeah, you can hide in the building. What do you think makes the most sense here? Athletics or stealth? Or some other role you'd like to make that you can spin. But what makes more sense for getting this done?
What role is going to make a single wheeled like
Fire?
platform device roll down the street?
So how I'm imagining it is that she pushes it with such force that even like the metal feet that it rests on, they're gonna skid along the cobblestones and make this horrible grinding noise as they go. So like
Exactly.
the guards are gonna notice that. It just won't like, So I think
You
athletics
rub-
makes sense, but
You rub fruit skin on the bottoms of the pegs to make it slippery.
we're getting so much mileage out of this rotten fruit. It's incredible.
Yes. You
feels like-
put some spaghetti squash on the bottom.
I can't give you folks food. It's food that causes problems. Croissants and rotten fruit. No more food. No food.
Yeah, I think it's athletics here. I think it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm
What do I have
gonna
to beat?
I'm gonna oppose with the guard's notice. And I'm gonna oppose with the captain's notice. So good luck.
Cool. All right, here we go. Well, that's a surprisingly good roll for me. Wow. I know I still lost, but it's fine. So here we go. I feel like this sort of fate point that I'm about to use is it's what I'm doing here is so Esther coded that I find Esther's creativity inspiring, and I feel like I'm like, what would Esther do here?
Yeah, that works. That definitely works. Yep.
Yeah. And that's I don't know what just happened. Okay, there we go.
Broke.
Um
It broke.
it broke, but we're at a 4, so we're tied. And
Okay, well, in this case, I would argue that check out my amazing fruit, which we only used one of the invokes.
You
I
used
feel like that was taken away without cause.
No.
no, it's too late. It's too late. I'm gonna let this tie.
You're gonna let it tie? Okay. What happens with the smoke bomb? Does that get thrown at the same time? Like, when was that coming in?
I have it, and I'm up top looking at what's going on so that I can properly throw it at the correct time. So I haven't thrown it yet. I need to know what the cart is doing.
Okay. You're gonna let it tie. Okay, cool. So Florence, you kick this flaming wheelbarrow down the street. It goes skidding past all 5 guards. They like turn and look at it at the same time. And then as it skids down the street, a group of lily hunters come out the other side of the street. It's like a gang of 2 guys and a woman, and they've got like billy clubs and manacles hanging off their belts. They're out late looking for Lily, and this flaming wheelbarrow just comes screaming towards them out of nowhere. They turn, they scream. It's a single explosion where they're run over by the cart. Flaming rotten fruit goes everywhere. They yell in pain. The guards like turn. One of them points and laughs at their misfortune.
Oh my god.
A couple of them like stand up. They're like trying to get the rotten flaming fruit off of themselves. They're like hitting themselves to like stop the sparks on the fire from their clothes. And they're just like, ah! And they turn and they like run off down the street.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Wow.
That definitely distracted the guards for a certain amount of time, but what happens in that moment?
May I make an action?
Yeah.
I select the loudest time, so maybe it's when it crashes, maybe it's the screams,
Hmm.
but I take that as an opportunity to like flap down the board between the buildings so that they don't hear me.
Okay.
And it's now nighttime, so I can't imagine that there's much lighting up there.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ghost.
Yeah, I like it. So that makes sense. You slap down the board at the same time that the explosion occurs. There is now a bridge joining the dilapidated building and the bookstore.
I'll keep
guess-
going, but I'm curious what my friends are doing.
Oh my gosh, Tony.
Tony, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, so let's keep going with the story.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride, everybody!
Like Pride Month. Okay, so during this distraction, I feel like Florence is like, oh, gosh, I was hoping that they would move even a little bit, but I guess that's if you had won, that would have worked.
Yes, that was the concession.
So none of them went running to their friends?
They're not friends. They're just random
They're not
citizens
friends.
that they pointed and laughed at as they were on fire because they're guards.
But we do have a bridge now, and
Yep.
I feel like using a smoke bomb when like Florence needs to like climb up there, and so does Esther. But like using a smoke bomb to go across the bridge would be most excellent.
Yeah.
All right, I'm waiting for you. Come
Okay.
on up.
Do I have to do athletics to like climb this thing?
No,
I thought we just like took a staircase.
it's neither here nor there. It's getting across the board stealthily. Stealthily, that'll be important.
Perfect.
So everybody's trying to climb into the dilapidated building and like try to get across the board stealthily.
Yeah.
Like Esther, you
I'm gonna
included.
throw down a smoke bomb as we cross.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, all right. Smoke bomb as you cross. Okay, sounds good. Let's hold off on that just for a sec, and then I think you can use it if they start to notice you. Cause
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so in that case, everybody roll stealth. I'll oppose with the watch captain's notice, and we'll see who wins and who loses.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Okay, so we're looking at
Oh,
a
shit.
3 for the difficulty, folks.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Okay, all right. I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but oh wait, no, it's fine. I don't have any fate points.
Now look, you did roll all 4 negatives. The reroll statistically is
But
better.
there's no fate points left to roll.
But you have your free invokes with the smoke bomb.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's not gonna beat a 3.
I mean, it might if you roll well. I mean,
Esther,
you got
could
plus
always
3
stay
stealth.
behind.
You got plus 3 stealth. All you have to do is not roll a minus.
Wait, but a free invoke isn't a roll, is it?
Yeah, it's essentially it's a free fate point, so you can get plus 2 or a reroll.
Ooh.
All right.
Whoa.
It literally
Alright.
can't get any worse.
I don't think that's true.
What do you?
But-
Another dice with a minus manifests.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
Oh wow!
Oh!
Whoa! A success with style. Man, I can't believe it.
Nice job. That was incredible.
All right.
This is gonna go in the history books.
Yeah. I guess I'll really eat my words on that one.
You're this one instance of a good roll definitely outweighs all the other times the reroll hasn't worked for sure.
Yes, correct.
All right. What about the other two? Let's see. So Lily is tied, and then Florence is. Where is Florence? What did Florence
Losing.
do?
One.
Losing.
I got a 1. Okay.
Yeah. So we have one invoke left on the smoke bomb.
Lilith, do you have a plan for getting across? Do you need the smoke on?
I mean, you can use it. I think you need it more than me.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, so great. Super. I am gonna use the smoke bomb because
Okay.
I need it.
Okay.
And we will go. What did I get? What did I roll? Hello? It's not showing me. That's fine.
You rolled a 1.
Just a 1. Okay.
So if you
I will,
use, you could either reroll or you could get the +2 to meet the 3.
I'm gonna meet the 3 with a +2.
Okay.
And that will be like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna use Lilith as my ward here. And I'm gonna do like I'm following her lead here with this. I'm following her across, and I'm. Oh, I guess that is okay. That's
I
more
haven't
protective.
technically crossed yet.
Yeah. Okay. How about?
Could you use I'm too old for this?
I'm too old for this. This is not my first time going across a balance beam into a building.
Yeah, that's great, actually. I love
Nice.
that.
Let's go. All right, here we go.
Okay, so that's a total of 5. 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 3 to 5 for 2 plus 2s. Okay, so you're winning. Esther's winning. Lily, what are we looking at? Are you taking the tie here, or are you going to try to push it over so you win?
Man.
So you hurl the smoke bomb
I-
down. It explodes. There's like this gathering of dust and smoke. The guards like look. A couple of them run down the alleyway where the smoke's like floating up, and they're like looking around trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Not at all focused
almost-
on the beam above them.
What if this is probably a no-go, but I'm just going to say it. Because all of my comrades have successfully reached the other side, let's just say I'm last, and as I attempt to go over, the board starts to get extra creaky, like it's reaching its last leg. So I return back to the house, and instead, this is dumb. I was going to try and like jump it.
I mean, you're looking at about a 10-foot leap. If you wanna like, if you want to try that, you could try it.
I mean, you are death.
It's true.
What? No.
Or you can. So
Um,
you are technically tying, right? So you can make it across. It's just that I get a concession, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll just do that.
Okay. All right, so you make it across, and you were almost precognitive there, because as you make it across, the board does indeed give up on its last legs, slips from the roof, and tumbles down into the alleyway, and you hear this whack as it hits one of the guards on the head, like a clang, and he goes, oh! And then the other guards, like, look around, they start, like, talking to each other, they're like, what the heck is going on? They see that the board fell, and they're mobilizing. They know that something's up, but they don't know what yet, and you're all on the roof of Paracanassa Books. Looking around, you can see that there is a small portico balcony on the back half of the bookstore, not attached to anything, but that would go into the second story itself if you wanted to go in that way. There's also a chimney that you could, like, I don't know, try to slide down. It's not that wide.
You could go full Santa.
You could go full Santa if you wanted to.
It's good for the vertical lines in our group.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, are you saying I should go full Santa?
Absolutely. But you would never, because it's full of soot.
Yeah.
No, something I feel like I wanted to make very clear, and perhaps I haven't done a good enough job, is that Esther is snooty and fastidious, though nasty.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
With the rotten fruit.
You're
It-
particular
it-
about your
it all makes
nastiness.
sense.
Yes, particular about the nastiness. Thank you.
Okay, well, I say we just walk in through the balcony.
Swing down, and swing into there. Okay. All right. So you swing down through there, make your way into the balcony, and you come into that room where all of Olivia's well, actually they're not there anymore, right? Okay, so you come into that room where Oscar's body was there, like over the table, rotted and poisoned by Ophelia. Sorry, I keep saying the wrong name. By Ophelia. Lily, when you were here the first time, you recognized Ophelia's poisons in the teacups. But now that body is gone. It's been moved entirely. And you don't see anything else. You remember that there is the secret passageway behind the bookshelf near the back where like the bedroom is off to the kitchen. But you don't see any signs of Ernie, and you don't see any signs of other people either. But people have obviously been in here because the body's been moved. So like, did they find the secret passage? You don't know.
Let's go in and find out. I'm gonna walk towards the. I can't remember where the secret passage is. Isn't it like a bookcase?
Yeah, it's behind the bookcase. There's a red book that you pull out, and then it opens.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go right there and pull the book.
Before what?
Can I do something as that's happening?
Yeah, sure.
I go to the nearest window of maybe not the main street, maybe the window of well, I guess the other main street.
Mhm.
And I just kind of hold my hand out the window and make like a come on motion.
It takes 2 seconds, and then 4 rats tied together by their tails go flying up to you, and you catch them gracefully.
Perfect. And I pull my hand in, holding him by the string, and go, not bad.
You see the urchin running away down the street, hands covered in bites.
And I go with Lilith.
Now, would my like psychic abilities? I can't remember if I don't remember if I had any like deeper connection with Ernie, but like, could I sense at all his presence?
The last time you were here, Esther could sense an incredibly strong relic coming from within the secret room, but that's gone now. Esther doesn't sense that anymore. And you did sense something of a spirit, but you'd guess that was tied to Oscar or Maz, because that's also gone. So Ernie in particular, you can't really get a beat on, because he's a spirit within a body, so you don't, he's not a ghost.
Okay. What do I see when I enter the secret passage?
Okay. As you pull the book and swing it open, you can see that the vats have been entirely cleared out. In fact, the entire secret room has been cleared out. Whatever investigations took place here, they obviously found the place and then emptied it of all of that and the experiments. However, as you enter in, you hear a rustling coming from up in the rafters, and you turn your head, Lily, and the rest of you do as well, and you see a small, squat form of Ernie slowly winding his head out of the shadows to look down at the lot of you. He stares at you, his human face sticking out of the worm-like body. Oops. Oh, man, why isn't that working? Let's see here. Oh.
Here, puppy. And I hold out the rats.
He looks down at you.
Like I throw the rats.
You came back. You chuck them up, and he like stretches out, like his slug-like body stretches out, and he catches them in his human mouth and like brings them back into the shadows, and you hear a bunch of like munching and slurping sounds and bones cracking.
That's gross.
Ernie, I'm so glad you're here.
He like winds his way back out of the shadows again. They almost caught me. Had to be careful.
Ernie,
What
what
happened?
happened?
Bunch of guards from the Verdant Church broke in. Don't know how they found the place or why they were interested in it, but they rooted around and took the vats and everything, even Oscar's body. I was terrified. Went out through my little hidey hole. Kept scarce for the moment. The guards still downstairs?
Yes, there's 5 of them that we know of.
It's at that moment that you all hear the jingle of a bell coming from the lower door as it's opened.
And that's your cue to hide.
He nods and like slinks back into the shadows. What are we doing, gang?
I'm thinking about stealthing my way to maybe like the top of the bookcase, see if I can't just take, hoping it's, a singular, maybe take them out.
Like getting on top. So there's like upper rafters of the secret room where like this was built into it. You could try hiding up in those if you left the secret room open, or you could like close the secret room and hope they don't know about it and then hide in case they do, or you could come
How do I
out.
get downstairs?
There's just a doorway leading out of this upstairs kitchen and bedroom that leads down a set of stairs back into the bookstore.
I think we should close off the secret room and then hide if we can.
Mm.
What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, so we could rush into that main area that we were just in, close the door, and yeah, and I think I would maybe just position myself in my crossbow, or no, my knife. I'll get my dagger and like position myself right at the doorway on the inside so as they enter I can maybe do that. Or do you really want to be just full stealth and see what they're up to?
I mean, I'm down for whatever.
Can I notice how many people are in the house or who they are? Is that possible?
You would guess it's the guards. You can't really tell from up here. You can hear them tromping around. You think some people are coming up the stairs.
But it is multiple footsteps.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we should close the secret door and hide inside the secret room. Because these guards might not know there's a secret room. They just might know about the outside.
I think
Can we
that's a great
close it
idea.
from the inside?
Yeah, there's a lever to the left of the bookshelf.
And then we can have Lilith go up into the rafters with Ernie with a crossbow, just in case.
Just
Done.
in case.
I'm up. Done. I do my little acrobatics and climb up there.
Is
Okay.
it slimy up there?
Yeah, there's like slime covering the rafters where Ernie's been crawling around, and you can hear like the bone cracking sounds as Ernie's eating the rats as you like are all hanging out in there. There's a few heartbeats that go by as you close the secret door. You hear the guards like tromping around inside. They check the balcony. You hear them walking over to there. You hear muffled conversations through the bookshelf door. Couple of tense moments go by. And then they leave. Footsteps tromping back down. Which means they didn't know about the room.
They didn't know about the room. We'll have a good plan. All right, what else do we need to ask Ernie?
Ernie like winds his way out of the rafters again, a rat tail in his mouth. He slurps it up like spaghetti and looks at all of you and says, that was close. Thank you for the food. I appreciate it. What brings you by?
Great question.
We heard their, well, okay. We were up by Oscar's mansion earlier today. And we got notice that there might be another experiment happening, and we thought perhaps it would be like the one done to you.
Experiments? Huh. I don't know. He pauses for a minute. Maybe that's where they took the vats? Oscar's mansion. Why would they go there? He pauses for a sec as if he's trying to think. The master was known for having a number of lacuna-related accoutrements at his estate. Maybe there's something there that they're making use of in combination with the vats? Sorry, I wish I had a better idea for you.
It's all right. Mostly we wanted to know, how familiar are you with the estate? Do you know if there's any other entrances beyond the main grand entrance?
Oh, yes. I've been there a couple of times. There is an auxiliary cellar entrance. It was used to make deliveries a long time ago. It's near the back. You still have to go through the back gate, but if you enter through there, you can slip down into the cellar through basement steps.
That is extremely useful.
Oh, good.
Are you able to leave this room?
Oh, yeah. He, crawls over, and you can see in the dim light, Florence, that there is a hole in the roof of the rafters that he's chewed through to squirm out of the bookshop. He says, I crawl out on the roofs all the time and then go looking for rats.
I feel like Lilith should offer him something at this point.
I'm
Does-
sorry that this has been your life, Ernie.
Oh, no. It's like I said last time. This is far better than what I was before. This body's exceptional at survival.
If you were to do us a huge favor, I could possibly exchange you a new, more human body. Is that something you'd be interested in having?
No, I'm perfectly comfortable. But you could do that? That's impressive. You must have learned a lot since you were here last time.
We've certainly
I
learned
have.
many things.
Is there anything that you want that I could do in exchange?
I tell you what, I'll just give you a hand. The 4 rats were delicious anyway. What do you need?
Never underestimate the power of urchins.
Well, it sounds like Oscar's home is going to be all the more guarded, and as much as I'd like to get into that cellar through the back, I wonder if you could slither in. And do you know how to hurt people?
He gives this disturbingly wide grin with sharp needle teeth.
Is there any interest in taking out a few guards?
I'd love to. As long as you...
Now hold on, Lilith. Taking out a few guards? What are these euphemisms? You mean killing 2 people?
I mean, it's not like they're doing the right thing in this world, and I am here to restore balance. Ernie here is...
Restore balance? Listen to yourself! Ernie, if we could have your assistance in a less lethal form, Lilith, that
What
would
do
be
you
preferable.
suggest? I'm just saying he could fit through the gate. He could fit through the fence at any point.
Fit through the fence and he could probably stick one of those appendages into the locking mechanism and likely unlock the padlock.
With guards heavily surrounding.
Are there guards at the
Do you
rear
have
gate?
any-
They're,
Does
yeah,
he
they
have
they march
acid
around. But Ernie says, I could take care of a guard or 2, as long as you let me get the jump on him. I could also just melt the lock off. He gives a hacking cough, like a, and then spits up this wad of green phlegm that hits a nearby board and melts it partly away.
Oh, what if instead we brought some of this with us? And that way we wouldn't have to get you all the way up the city away
sure.
from your nest.
Oh, sure. I mean, I can make it there quiet if you want, but yeah, you can harvest some of my saliva.
That sounds like an Allegard job if I've ever heard one.
Felicity is like in the background, shoulders hunched like a cat who's like just angry at having to be where it is.
Felicity, let's go out of here and be upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her and I sort of exit the little chamber and are upset.
I grab a bunch of empty vials from my satchel and enthusiastically request
Harvest.
Ernie to spit into them.
Yeah, Ernie fills the vials up for you. We won't go into too much detail there, but you have successfully gained 3 vials of incredibly potent acid spit.
Wow.
Super.
That's amazing.
Glad I could be of assistance. You sure you don't want me to take out a few guards?
We know where you live, we'll bring more rats if we need further assistance. But thank you.
Okay, sounds good. You folks be safe out there, all right? Things are getting dangerous these days.
All right. All right. I'm like, okay, is there anything else we want to ask him about Oscar or about the ritual or
It's
I mean,
tough
it sounds
because
like you didn't know much.
yeah.
there's a part of me that feels like Ernie knows several crucial pieces of information about a wide variety of topics, but
So
I don't know
he
what
was
they
definitely
are.
involved in a rite of in a previous rite, right? And he was involved in let's see. Where are my names? Where are my names?
Resilience, repurpose, routes.
He was definitely involved in a rite of repurpose, right? Transpose a spirit from one vessel to another. That was the experiment that Oscar Ramaz was trying to pull off, and he successfully transferred spirits from one body to another body, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Ernie's body is the only one that seemed to work in that regard. So, like, he knows about that. He was an occultist. He knows about Lacuna, right? He knows a lot of stuff that you could probably ask about in regards to that. He might even have some knowledge of, like, like asking about what they might be attempting. He's like not sure, but he might be able to guess. But yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm not done with him yet. Okay, let's see. If they stole Oscar's body and they stole all the equipment, they're probably trying to do another rite of repurpose. Florence like pulls out her notebook and she's like looking over what you need to do a rite of repurpose.
Ah,
We
you know about it.
Yeah, Lilith tried to repurpose. Did we try to repurpose someone? I guess you accidentally did with the death mask. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Well, that was more of a just opening the doorway and trying to
Yeah.
transfer. But yeah, that might be the same kind of idea.
yeah. Ernie, can you tell me not to put you in a monologue, but could you tell me basically exactly how the rite of repurpose went when you were transformed?
Oh, sure. Well, basically, what occurred is that uh, for the rite of repurpose to work, you have to kill off the previous body, unless you're like very powerful. You need a lot of energy to rip somebody's spirit out of their body. I mean, that's like a ridiculous amount of energy. But if you
Lot.
kill off the previous vessel, then the tethers of life aren't so strong, and the spirit can transfer easier. So, in my case, after we'd gotten the body prepped, using various experiments and rite of reconstruction and the rite of resilience to make modifications to caterpillars. Once Oscar had the body prepped and I had volunteered, he killed me. It worked though. Wound up in this body. Of course, Oscar died shortly thereafter when Ophelia came by to visit, but, you know.
Ophelia killed Oscar. That's
Mhm.
right.
Poisoned the tea and everything.
Awful. Okay, so you were part of creating your new vessel, this body, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why did you choose a caterpillar?
Well, I didn't exactly choose it. Oscar wanted to see how resilient of a body he could make, and he also was interested if certain qualities from the body would transfer over. So the hope is that one day I'll cocoon and then molt into, something more impressive. But that's yet to be seen. I'm
How long
always
have you
hungry.
been
Go ahead.
How long have you been in this body?
Oh, let's see. I guess about 7 years now?
Wow. Okay. Team, any other questions? Let's see. I feel like
Do you have any idea what? I mean, you mentioned certain items at Oscar's house that could be of use to them. Do you have any recollection of what sort of things those might be?
Yeah. Well, various insect collections, that sort of thing. Stuff that Lacuna would be attracted to, right? Different vials of blood from different species of animals, as well as some more disturbing body parts suspended in chemical solutions that I think it's best if I don't go into too much detail about.
Right.
Lacuna offers and honors anything that represents the struggle of being alive. So, wounds, body parts, insects, things that represent decay, things that represent the progression or the difficulty of living, anything like that. It's within his sphere of influence.
Ernie, what do you think
Uh,
Lacuna's relationship to death is?
Well, I'm just saying that's why the red of the routes requires so much, organic matter. Sorry, relationship to death? I don't really know. To be honest, the occultists always thought that Lacuna was the true god, and Liliune and the Verdant were imposter gods, thieves basically who had stolen his power away.
I see.
Their belief
from
is.
around the.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, maybe finish that statement.
Okay. Their belief is that Lacuna was basically everything, all of it, before the Verdant and Liliune death split off from him.
From around the corner, Esther just leans back into the room. Ernie, you say Lacuna honors everything that represents a struggle. Perhaps even, and I think Esther just looks down at their worn hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The struggle to create, the struggle to survive. Yep. Anything like that works.
Mm.
I have a suspicion that Ophelia or her team, whoever she's working with, are trying to resurrect Oscar. Because why steal his body? Why bring that back?
Could be.
Why would Ophelia kill him just to bring him back?
Well, it's been a long time. It's been 7 years. Maybe she needs something.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Regardless, we'll find our answers inside that manse. Yes.
Sure. If you're going, just be careful. If any of Lacuna's servants are there, it's not going to be too much fun to tangle with them.
Were there any other physical forms that y'all were preparing for your ritual that seemed more successful than others?
Oh, no, I was the only successful one. You saw him last time. Remember all the horrible things in the vats? Well, they carted those off too, but anyway, those were all failed transferences. I was the only one that worked.
Why do you think yours worked?
I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with my acceptance of the thing. To be honest, he gets lower, lowers his head. You hear this squishing sound as he stretches out a bit to get conspiratorial with you. I think I was the only true believer among our group. Everybody else, I think, was just looking for power. But me, I was just there for the experience. The desire to see what it was like to try to live as a different creature entirely. It was pure interest. I think Lacuna saw that and respected it.
The intent matters.
Oh, of course. Intent matters a lot. If you think about it, basically what you're doing is calling on these all-powerful outside forces to influence you and the reality around you. If your intent isn't strong enough, then nothing's going to happen. Or something will happen in the way you don't intend.
Wow. Okay. Is there anything else I should ask, team? I feel like that was extremely useful.
Yeah, I actually feel like I got a lot out of all that.
Yeah. I think we're good to go to Oscars. Unless, we can wait for the night of their experiments, or we can go in advance.
I think we should go in advance and set up some traps if we can. Maybe
Let's go.
another flaming wheelbarrow.
More
It
fruit.
worked so well last time.
Well, there's still all the fruit probably up there.
It's on fire and it's been irreplicably destroyed. All the fruit in the city somehow randomly just disappeared. It's crazy.
Oh no.
He's done with us.
No. Yeah, you could do the fruit plan again. That's fine.
Oh, so funny. Okay. Great. I think it's time we leave Ernie.
Okay.
That was good.
Ernie like wiggles his body back and forth as he turned to leave and he says, "Goodbye. Come back again if you ever got any questions."
Bye.
Thank
And now we have to
you.
get out of here.
Yeah. So that is the question because the board is broken. There's no longer a bridge. So how are you exiting?
Could go through the front door like Ocean's 11 style, you know?
I could drip some Ernie juice on all the guards.
No,
Oh my
wait,
God.
no, what? Absolutely not.
Can't we just jump out of a window and time it out properly? Like where there aren't like like a gap in the coverage of the guards.
There is
That
some gap.
that'd be difficult. You could try. You're 2 stories up, so
We could go downstairs.
you could. Excuse me. You
just
could
go out the front door.
like Esther suggested, try to like sneak out the front door. You could try.
Could just jump through a window. And run.
We could in a pickle.
Crossbow all of them. Kill them all.
I mean, you could, but that would put us in a conflict, and I don't really feel like fighting 5 guards.
I mean, I believe we have one more smoke bomb.
No, you've used both free invokes.
Yeah.
You could make another one if you wanted to.
We could dig our way out.
We could go through the roof.
Yeah, you
and
could always
stand up there.
you could always try to make the jump to the dilapidated building if you wanted to.
I mean, I could do another rope and crossbow move, and we could climb back into the old house.
That's so heroic.
It worked so well last time.
It really did. I kind of like that idea.
Oh man. I mean, it could work, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so I clamber up to the roof again
Okay.
and grab my rope.
A tie and a shoot. All right. Yeah. So I think in this case, actually shooting the rope across the gap isn't the difficult part, so you can do that easily enough. It's getting across again without being seen. So stealth or athletics, your choice. I'll pose with the guards notice. Are we doing that, gang, or?
I
Let's
guess
do it.
so. Yeah. Guess I'll roll stealth.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay, cool. Wow. I guess we're all getting noticed.
Yeah, I think
I feel
we're
like
on the run.
I feel like I want blood on my hands. It's been a while.
Okay, so if we're all taking fails, as you all go to crawl across the rope, you're crawling across, and one of the guards like looks up and goes, "Ha ha! Ha!" And he points up and turns to his fellow and says, "There they are! After them!" And you all get to the dilapidated building, and you're like clambering down. The guards are drawing their swords, and they're like charging right for you. You turn and charge off down an alleyway, running into the darker parts of the city. And we'll call it there for now and pick up there next time.
Oh,
Amazing.
scary.
Woohoo.
All right. Thanks,
I'm excited for a
gang.
fight. We haven't had one in a while, so it'll be nice.
Yeah. It'll be good. Yeah, we can decide if you folks want to try to run away from the guards next time or like actually take them out or all that stuff.
Incredible. What a fun session.
Oh, good. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, we had a lot of crazy moments there, but I'm glad we got some information out as well. That's good.
It was fruity.
It was a very fruity
It was your
session.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Pretty cool. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay. Cool. Any of my players have anything they want to shout out before we end for the day?
Well, if y'all want to come to Art Book Club, I'm hosting it in an hour, 2.5 hours over on my channel, so you can come hang out. We can talk about art and books.
What's the book?
It's called Art is a Tyrant, and it's a biography about Rosa Bonheur, who is this queer artist in the 1800s. Very fun.
What kind of art did they make? Like what?
She made
She made-
basically paintings about animals, like really fancy oil paintings, and they were like enormous. And she was one of the first women artists to show her work in a salon and also get these like really prestigious awards for cultural things in France. And she lived through many different political uprisings. It was fun.
What was that name? Rosa what?
Bonheur.
Von Hugh. Oh, okay. All right. That's completely different than what I heard.
Oh, I see. And this is so clever, picking this book for both
I'm
book
so
club
clever.
and book
Thank you.
club.
What? With two.
Oh, you were
Joey
like,
and I have a second book club, and I've chose one book for both book clubs because I need to consolidate my time.
you were like, yeah, you're like, I only have to read one book. Smooth.
Exactly.
Ah, perfect.
They're great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm
right.
playing Final Fantasy VIII
Oh.
on Fridays. So if
With
anyone
egg roll.
with Egg Roll Buddy,
Nice.
and it's been chaotic and fun, and I have a new YouTube video coming out on Wednesday, and it's
Sick.
pretty sad.
Oh.
Just
Did you
a
mess with your floors?
just a battle, my biggest failure as a homeowner.
Oh, good job.
Oh, that's content though. That's content.
If only I had done it for the clickbait.
Yeah. Is this your first time playing through FF8?
No, I'm actually avenging my inner child.
Nice.
Like you never
And-
beat it in the past?
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's why I have Eggroll with me, because he's my mentor and he's gonna make sure I actually beat it this time.
Nice. I have never beaten a Final Fantasy game. Ever.
Wow.
I've started several of them and like tried to play through, but I always get bored before I get to the end. Oh wait,
Wow.
actually, okay, hold on. That's technically not true. I did beat Final Fantasy
Super.
Tactics Advance,
Oh, nice.
but that's like
Wait,
what-
that's like one of the very, very longest ones.
I know the story was great. I loved the story, and the battle system was super interesting. So I was like, I'm just gonna play this whole thing. It was so
Nice.
much fun.
Wow. Okay, well, Wendy, please, when you finish, be sure to report back as to who your OTP is, because I have strong opinions about
Oh,
some of the
same.
pairings in that game.
And like what fan fiction you read afterwards? I need to know.
Yes, please.
What's
Oh
what's
my
your
God,
OTP?
okay.
No, I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, okay, all right, all right,
We
all
gotta
right.
wait. We gotta wait.
Okay. Because that whole game is like a love story, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yeah, but there's some other stuff going on.
okay. all right.
All right, and I would like to shout out, just like everyone, like try to do your best in whatever way that means. Like it could just be doing your best for yourself, and even that like could be like something you need to do for you, or maybe it is as simple as just doing something nice for yourself. But just whatever it is, do your best.
You're so like the opposite of Vester. This advice is like probably feels weird to listen to.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone. Get go crawl into the gutter you came from.
That's better.
Amazing.
Be gone, urchins. All right.
Affectionate.
Cool. Okay. Thanks, everybody. That was a blast. I will see you all next time on the Hands of Death. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.